My girlfriend said I'm pregnant, it's yours. Then her ex texted me, congrats on the baby, we're back together now. My name is Marcus, I'm 29, and this is the story of how I almost became a father to someone else's child because my girlfriend thought she could have both her ex and his money while keeping me as the responsible backup plan. I need to explain how I got into this situation because looking back, the red flags were there from the beginning, I just refused to see them. I met Brittany about 10 months ago through a dating app. She was 27, worked as a receptionist at a dental office, and seemed sweet and easygoing. Our first few dates were great, she laughed at my jokes, seemed genuinely interested in my work as an aerospace engineer, and didn't play games with texting or scheduling. We made things official after 2 months. Nothing felt rushed or forced. She met my friends, I met hers. We fell into a comfortable routine of seeing each other 3 or 4 times a week. The first red flag came around month 3 when she casually mentioned her ex-boyfriend. Chase and I dated for 4 years, she said over dinner one night. We broke up about 6 months before I met you. What happened? I asked, not because I was worried but just making conversation. He's just immature. All he cares about is his band and partying. I need someone stable. Someone with a real career and a future. That should have set off alarm bells. Not that she wanted someone stable, that's reasonable. But the way she said it. Like she was comparing options on a spreadsheet rather than talking about actual human connection. So you're completely over him? I asked. Completely. He's honestly embarrassing at this point. Still living with roommates at 28, playing dive bars on weekends for beer money. I outgrew him. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. Red flag number 2 came a month later when I saw she was still following Chase on Instagram and liking his posts. Band photos, mostly. Him on stage with his guitar, looking exactly like the kind of guy your parents warn you about, tattoos, messy hair, that studied I don't care aesthetic that probably takes an hour to achieve. I thought you were over him? I said, trying to keep it light. I am. We're just still friendly. It ended amicably. But you said he was immature and embarrassing. He is. But that doesn't mean we have to hate each other. I let it go. I'm not the jealous type, and I didn't want to be that boyfriend who polices his girlfriend's social media. Red flag number 3 happened about 6 months in. Brittany started being weird about her phone. She'd flip it face down when notifications came in. She'd step into another room to take certain calls. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd get defensive. Why are you interrogating me? Can't I have privacy? I'm not interrogating. I just asked who called. My friend Sarah. God, you're so suspicious lately. I wasn't suspicious. I was noticing patterns. But every time I brought up something that bothered me, Brittany would turn it around to make me feel like I was being unreasonable or controlling. It's called gaslighting, but I didn't recognize it at the time. Things came to a head about 2 months ago. Brittany had been distant for a week, canceling plans, being short in texts, claiming she wasn't feeling well. I was worried she was pulling away or losing interest. Then she showed up at my apartment on a Sunday night, crying. I need to talk to you, she said, her voice shaking. My stomach dropped. This was it. She was breaking up with me. We sat on my couch and she took a deep breath. I'm pregnant. Of all the things I'd expected her to say, that wasn't one of them. You're. What? I'm pregnant. About 6 weeks. My brain tried to do math. 6 weeks ago we'd been together. We'd been careful, we always used protection, but nothing is 100% effective. Are you sure? She pulled out her phone and showed me a photo of a positive pregnancy test. 2 clear pink lines. I took 3 tests. They're all positive. I sat there in shock. A baby. We were having a baby. How do you feel about it? I finally asked. Scared. I don't know what to do. She was crying harder now. I'm not ready to be a mom. But I also don't know if I could go through with an abortion. Hey, we'll figure it out. I put my arm around her. Whatever you decide, I'm here. We'll handle this together. She looked up at me with red, teary eyes. You're not mad? Mad? Brittany, it takes 2 people to make a baby. If you're pregnant, we deal with it as a team. She collapsed into me, sobbing. I was so scared you'd leave me. I'm not leaving. We'll figure this out. Over the next few days, we talked through options. Brittany was leaning toward keeping the baby, which honestly terrified me but also felt right. I wasn't ready to be a father, but if it was happening, I'd step up. I started doing research, reading parenting books, calculating budgets, looking at bigger apartments. My parents would freak out that I was having a baby with someone I'd only been dating 9 months, but they'd come around. Brittany seemed to relax once she knew I wasn't abandoning her. She started talking about baby names and nursery colors. We went to her first prenatal appointment together. The doctor confirmed she was about 7 weeks pregnant. Everything looked normal. We scheduled another appointment for 4 weeks out. Walking out of that office, I felt this weird mix of terror and excitement. I was going to be a dad. That feeling lasted exactly 4 days. I was at work, in the middle of a design review meeting, when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Unknown: "Hey man, this is Chase. Brittany's ex. We need to talk." My stomach dropped. Why was Brittany's ex texting me? Me, who is this? Chase Morrison. I got your number from Brittany's phone. Look, I don't want drama, but you need to know something. Brittany and I have been seeing each other again. Since like June. June? That was 2 months ago. Right when Brittany had started being weird and distant. Me: Brittany said you guys broke up over a year ago. Chase: we did. But we got back together this summer. She said you were just some guy she was casually seeing and that it wasn't serious. My hands were shaking. I excused myself from the meeting and went to the parking lot. Me: we're not casual. We've been together almost 9 months. Chase: dude, I had no idea. She told me you were just a friend. I'm sorry, man. I wouldn't have gotten involved if I'd known she was in a real relationship. Me: why are you telling me this? The 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Then: Chase: because she's pregnant and she's telling you it's yours. But we've been sleeping together this whole time. I think it might be mine. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Me: she told you about the pregnancy? Chase: yeah. She came clean about everything last night. Said she'd been seeing both of us, didn't know who the father was, but she was going to tell you it was yours because you have a stable career and I couldn't provide. Me: and you're okay with that? Chase: hell no, I'm not okay with it. That's why I'm texting you. She's planning to trap you into raising my kid while getting back together with me on the side. Me: how do I know you're telling the truth? Chase: check her Instagram. She posted a photo of us 2 weeks ago. She deleted it after an hour, but I screenshot it. He sent me the screenshot. It was Brittany and Chase at some bar, his arm around her, both of them smiling. The caption: reunited, 2 hearts emoji. The timestamp was from 2 weeks ago. The same weekend she'd cancelled plans with me, saying she wasn't feeling well. I sat in my car, staring at that photo, feeling my entire reality crumble. I called Brittany. She answered on the 3rd ring. Hey babe. I was just thinking about you. Chase texted me. Silence. Long, damning silence. Who? Don't. He told me everything. I don't know what he told you, but he told me you've been seeing him since June. That you've been sleeping with both of us. That you don't know whose baby it is, but you're pinning it on me because I have money and he doesn't. That's not, he's lying. He's crazy. He's obsessed with me and making stuff up. He sent me screenshots, Brittany. Photos of you two together. Text messages. Everything. She was quiet again. When she spoke, her voice had changed. Less panicked, more calculating. Okay. Yes. I've been seeing Chase. But Marcus, I love you. He's a mistake. He's familiar and easy and I fell back into old patterns. But I'm choosing you. I want to build a life with you. Is the baby his? I don't know, she admitted. It could be either of yours. Jesus Christ, Brittany. But it doesn't matter. You're the one who'd be a good father. You're stable and responsible and you can use me to fund your life while you keep sleeping with your ex on the side? No. I told Chase we're done. I'm with you now. I'm choosing you. You're not choosing me. You're choosing my paycheck. There's a difference. That's not fair. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a paternity test. If the baby is mine, I'll step up and be a father. I'll pay child support, be involved, do everything I'm supposed to do. But you and I are done. If the baby isn't mine, I never want to hear from you again. Marcus, please. Those are your options. Take it or leave it. I hung up. She called back 17 times. I didn't answer. She texted me novels, apologies, explanations, promises. I didn't respond. Chase texted me again that night. Did you talk to her? Me, yeah. I told her to get a paternity test. Chase, dude, I'm sorry. I really didn't know about you until last night when she told me everything. Me, are you still with her? Chase, hell no. She played both of us. I'm done. That was 2 months ago. Brittany initially refused to get a paternity test, insisting it didn't matter because she wanted me to be the father. I told her that without a test, I wouldn't acknowledge the child at all. She finally agreed to a prenatal paternity test, which can be done as early as 7 weeks. I paid for it, $1,500, because I needed to know. The results came back last week. Chase is the father. I've never felt more relieved and more disgusted at the same time. Relieved that I'm not tied to Brittany for the next 18 years. Disgusted that she'd been willing to trick me into raising someone else's child. I sent her one final text, got the results. Congratulations on your baby with Chase. Lose my number. She tried to call. I blocked her. Chase texted me, got the results. I guess I'm gonna be a dad. This is fucked up, man. Me, yeah. Good luck. Chase, for what it's worth, I really am sorry. She told me you guys weren't serious. Me, I believe you. I don't know what's happening with Brittany and Chase now. Through mutual friends, I heard they tried to make it work for the baby but broke up again after 2 weeks. She's apparently planning to keep the baby and raise it alone. Part of me feels bad for the kid. They didn't ask to be born into this mess. But mostly I just feel grateful I got out. Here's what I learned. When someone tells you their ex is immature and embarrassing but they're still following them on social media and staying in contact, they're not over them. They're keeping them as a backup option. Also, pregnancy can be used as a manipulation tactic. Brittany knew I'd step up and be responsible, and she counted on using that to lock me down while continuing to see Chase. If Chase hadn't reached out, I might be raising his kid right now without ever knowing the truth. And finally, trust your gut. I had red flags from month 3, but I talked myself out of them because I wanted the relationship to work. The signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. I'm single now, focusing on work, and being a lot more careful about who I trust. The next woman I date is getting the full background check, not literally, but emotionally. I'm done ignoring red flags. Brittany taught me an expensive lesson about trust. At least it only cost me $1,500 for the paternity test instead of 18 years of child support for a kid that wasn't mine. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one.